The cities of St. Paul and Maplewood share the lush, wooded acres of Battle Creek Regional Park. Although folks come here to have fun, or just to enjoy some peace and quiet, there was a time when that tranquility was shattered and this land was the site of a bloody conflict. Hence the name Battle Creek. In September of 1842, when the village of St. Paul was in its infancy, Dakota and Ojibwe Indians inhabited the region. The two tribes did not live peacefully together. The long-standing feud led to frequent attacks and revenge killings. The soldiers at Fort Snelling were under orders to put a stop to these conflicts, but many white settlers tolerated the fighting, preferring that the Indians take out their aggressions on each other rather than on the whites. The Kaposia Band of Dakota lived along the banks of the Mississippi near present-day South St. Paul. Kaposia means lightweight or unencumbered by material things. Little Crow, who later led the Dakota Uprising of 1862, was one of their leaders. About 100 Ojibwe warriors had gathered upriver from Kaposia, planning a surprise attack on the village. They didn't realize it, but they could not have chosen a better time to strike. The men of Kaposia were mostly passed out from a night of heavy drinking. The women had hidden their weapons to prevent any drunken mayhem. As some of the Ojibwe made their way down the east bank of the Mississippi, they encountered two Dakota women working in a field. They fired on them, killing one and fatally wounding the other. Francis Gamel, the French-Canadian husband of the wounded woman, carried her into the house. The attackers followed, scalping her while she was in her husband's arms. They also found, hiding in the bushes, the young son of the first woman. They seized him and cut off his head. Gamel shot and wounded one attacker, but the Ojibwe were not there to kill any whites, so they never tried to harm him. The sound of gunfire aroused the village of Kaposia, and Little Crow and his men pursued the Ojibwe attackers. The battle raged for 2 hours. The people of St. Paul could hear the shots and even watch the fighting from the bluffs. Soldiers at Fort Snelling were sent out as soon as the news of the battle reached them, but the fighting was over before they arrived. In the end, the Ojibwe were forced to retreat, but not before they had killed 20 of the Dakota. The Battle of Kaposia was the last large conflict between the Dakota and Ojibwe tribes in the St. Paul area. The name Battle Creek reminds us of the terrible events of that day, and the beauty of the park is a tribute to the vanished wilderness and the people who once lived here.